Robert De Niro, a legend on the big screen, has always kept his private life away from the spotlight. Known for his intense roles and powerful performances, his off-screen world holds secrets that few could imagine. Over the years, De Niro has faced a whirlwind of challenges, from high-profile relationships and raising 7 children to deep personal losses. But it was his eldest daughter, Drana, who brought to light a hidden part of his life, one that has stunned even those closest to him. Before we unravel what she revealed, understanding the journey that led him here is crucial. Robert De Niro's life is one of those stories that feels like it could be its own movie. Born on August 17, 1943 in Manhattan, New York City, De Niro was the only child of painters Virginia Admiral and Robert De Niro Sr. His father had roots in both Irish and Italian ancestry, while his mother's background was a mix of Dutch, English, French, and German. The couple met in art classes under Hans Hofmann in Provincetown, Massachusetts, where they fell in love over their shared passion for painting. But life wasn't all smooth for the De Niro family. When Robert was just 2 years old, his parents split after his father revealed he was gay. Even after the separation, his father stayed nearby and kept close to his son, making sure to be part of his life as much as he could. De Niro lived with his mom in Manhattan's Greenwich Village and Little Italy neighborhoods. These were lively places full of character and interesting people, which played a big part in shaping young Robert. He was given the nickname Bobby Milk by his friends on the street because of his pale skin. He mixed with the local kids, making friends that lasted a lifetime, even though his dad sometimes worried about the crowd he was hanging around with. De Niro's school life was a bit all over the place. He went to PS 41 for elementary school and got his first taste of acting at age 10 when he played the Cowardly Lion in a school production of The Wizard of Oz. That performance sparked something in him. He took acting lessons at the dramatic workshop and continued studying acting through his teen years. He jumped from one school to another, attending places like the Elizabeth Irwin High School and the High School of Music and Art, but he didn't stick around long in those schools. Eventually, he ended up at McBurney School and then Rhodes Preparatory School. But by the time he was 16, he decided to leave school for good and chase his passion for acting. As he put it, seeing actors on TV who weren't all that great made him think, if these actors are making a living at it and they're not really that good, I can't do any worse than them. De Niro didn't just jump into acting without preparation. He studied with some of the biggest names in the acting world. He learned at HB Studio and Lee Strasberg's Actors Studio, famous for training actors in the deep immersive Stanislavski method. He also trained under Stella Adler, who introduced him to techniques that would shape how he approached every role he took. De Niro idolized actors like Marlon Brando, James Dean, and Montgomery Clift, legends who were known for bringing raw, powerful emotions to the screen. It's no wonder that De Niro developed the same reputation as he grew into his career. De Niro's early career didn't start with instant fame. He played minor parts in movies like Encounter in Three Rooms in Manhattan in 1965, as well as in Les Jeunes Loups in 1968. But soon, things began to pick up. His breakthrough came when he starred in Greetings in 1968, a satirical movie about dodging the Vietnam War draft. It was the first of several collaborations with director Brian De Palma, who saw potential in the young actor. De Niro kept taking on different roles, like playing a New York filmmaker in Sam's Song in 1969 and acting in The Wedding Party, a comedy directed by De Palma that had been filmed in 1963 but only released 6 years later. Even though he was still not well known, he earned praise for his performances. The New York Times even called the film great fun, highlighting the fresh energy of the cast, which included De Niro. The early 1970s were when De Niro started gaining more recognition. In 1970, he played Lloyd Barker in Bloody Mama, a crime drama about the life of Ma Barker and her criminal sons. Critics took notice of his performance, pointing out his ability to bring characters to life even in smaller, low-budget films. He kept his streak going with Hi Mom. In 1970, another collaboration with De Palma that had De Niro showing off his knack for portraying quirky, intense characters. By 1973, De Niro had built up enough momentum to take on a role that would change everything: Bruce Pearson in Bang the Drum Slowly. This was the story of a Major League Baseball player facing Hodgkin's disease, and De Niro's portrayal was so touching and genuine that people began to see him as one of the top young actors in Hollywood. Critics praised him for making the character relatable and heartfelt, and his performance got him noticed in a big way. The same year, he began his long and famous partnership with director Martin Scorsese. Their first project together was Mean Streets, where De Niro played Johnny Boy, a small-time criminal with big dreams and a reckless streak. De Niro's dedication to the role was clear to everyone on set. He stayed in character and brought a raw energy to Johnny Boy that made people pay attention. Film critics like Roger Ebert called it marvelous, and Pauline Kael said he didn't just act, he takes off into the vapors. This role marked the start of one of the most successful director-actor partnerships in film history. De Niro's hard work paid off in a huge way when he landed the part of young Vito Corleone in The Godfather Part 2 in 1974. He had auditioned for the first Godfather movie but didn't get the role. This time, director Francis Ford Coppola remembered him and thought he'd be perfect for the part of the young Vito. De Niro took the role seriously, even learning several Sicilian dialects to make his performance authentic. His dedication paid off. The Godfather Part 2 was a hit and won 6 Oscars, including Best Supporting Actor for De Niro. It was a historic moment, as he and Marlon Brando, who played the older Vito in the first movie, became the first actors to win Oscars for playing the same character. This marked De Niro's first Academy Award win and proved that he was on his way to becoming a legend in his own right. These early years laid the foundation for Robert De Niro's career, showing his incredible range and dedication. But while his work on screen is legendary, De Niro's personal life, especially his relationships and family, paints a different side of the actor that's just as compelling. De Niro's first major relationship was with Diane Abbott, an actress and singer. They met on the set of Taxi Driver in 1976, where Abbott had a small role as a concession girl. Their chemistry was instant, and they got married that same year. During their 12-year marriage, they had a son, Raphael, in 1976, and De Niro adopted Abbott's daughter from a previous relationship, Drana. The family often attended events together, showing a picture of unity that made headlines. But things weren't as perfect as they seemed. As De Niro's fame skyrocketed, rumors of infidelity started to circulate. The strain these rumors caused eventually led to the couple's divorce in 1988. Despite the split, they remained civil for the sake of their children and grandchildren, maintaining a bond that carried on for years. During his marriage to Abbott, De Niro was rumored to have had an affair with Helena Springs, a backup singer known for her work with big names like David Bowie. Their relationship, which reportedly lasted from 1979 to 1983, was never officially confirmed by De Niro, but it was widely talked about in Hollywood. Springs claimed they had a daughter, Nina, born in 1982. De Niro allegedly helped cover some expenses for the birth, but drew the line when asked for his medical records or a blood sample. According to biographer Sean Levy, this led to a legal case for child support and recognition. However, a court-ordered DNA test revealed De Niro was not Nina's father, closing that chapter with lingering tension that likely contributed to his split from Abbott. After his marriage ended, De Niro started a long-term relationship with actress and model Toukie Smith. The two were together from 1988 to 1996 and had a strong bond, though they never married. Smith was known for her role in the NBC show 227 and her modeling career. In 1995, they welcomed twin sons, Julian Henry and Aaron Kendrick, born through a surrogate. These twins added more joy and complexity to De Niro's life as a father. Despite this new chapter, De Niro and Smith's relationship hit its own rocky moments, and they finally parted ways in 1996. However, they stayed friendly and committed to co-parenting their boys. Around this time, whispers of a brief romance between De Niro and supermodel Naomi Campbell made headlines. In the 1990s, when Campbell was at her career peak, she and De Niro were spotted at exclusive events and cozy dinners. The relationship didn't last long, but it kept people guessing. Campbell later hinted at it in a 2020 interview, saying she remained friends with all her exes, including De Niro, who she saw just before the pandemic lockdowns. Then came one of De Niro's most public relationships, with Grace Hightower, a philanthropist and former flight attendant. They first met in 1987 at a nightclub in London where Hightower was working, and a decade later they got married in a star-studded ceremony in 1997. The following year they welcomed their son, Elliot, who later became a key part of their efforts to advocate for autism awareness. Their marriage, however, wasn't always smooth sailing. In 1999, De Niro filed for divorce, but the split was never finalized. Instead, they found their way back to each other and renewed their vows in 2004 in a ceremony attended by Hollywood's elite. In 2011, they added to their family when their daughter, Helen Grace, was born via surrogate. But the happiness didn't last forever. In 2018, De Niro and Hightower announced their final separation. De Niro called it a difficult but necessary transition, emphasizing their mutual dedication to co-parenting. He said, "Grace and I have two beautiful children together. We are entering a period of transition in our relationship, which is a difficult but constructive process." Throughout these relationships, De Niro's focus on family stayed strong. In a 2023 interview, he opened up about what he'd learned from raising kids over the decades. "When you're older, you have awareness of certain things in life, dynamics, everything, family dynamics," he said. This perspective was one De Niro earned through the many ups and downs in his personal life, including the story of his eldest adopted daughter, Drena De Niro. Drena was born on September 3, 1971, to Deanna Abbott before she met De Niro. When he married Abbott in 1976, De Niro adopted Drena as his own, making her the oldest of his 7 children. Growing up, Drena embraced the arts just like her famous dad. She started her career as a model, strutting on runways and working with big names like Jean-Paul Gaultier, Vivienne Westwood, and Giorgio Armani. But modeling wasn't the only way Drena made a name for herself. She also pursued music, working as a DJ in some of New York's top clubs. It was clear early on that she had inherited her father's creative spirit. Eventually, Drena transitioned into acting and filmmaking, following in De Niro's footsteps. She appeared in movies alongside Hollywood giants, including Great Expectations with Gwyneth Paltrow and A Star is Born with Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. Drena even wrote, directed, and produced a short documentary called Girls and Dolls in 2001, showcasing her range and dedication to storytelling. Through these achievements, she proved she was more than just De Niro's daughter. She was an artist in her own right. However, Drena's life took a tragic turn in 2023 when her son, Leandro De Niro Rodriguez, died at just 19 years old. Leandro, who had appeared with his mom in films and was starting to carve out his own place in Hollywood, was found dead in his New York City apartment on July 2, 2023. His death was later ruled an accident due to a lethal mix of drugs, including fentanyl and other substances. Drena's grief was deep and public. She took to Instagram to share her heartbreak, writing, "I have loved you beyond words or description from the moment I felt you in my belly. You have been my joy, my heart, and all that was ever pure and real in my life." The loss left a lasting mark on Robert De Niro as well. As a grandfather, he shared his disbelief and pain in an interview, admitting, "It's just a shock. I never thought it would happen." He reflected on how he kept replaying thoughts of what he might have done differently. Leandro's father, artist Carlos Rodriguez, also expressed his sorrow. He wrote on social media, "Words aren't enough to express the joy he gave us or the loss we now endure. You can't spell love without Leo." For Drena and Carlos, the memory of their sweet wild boy is something they'll carry forever. On the first anniversary of his death, Drena posted a heartfelt tribute saying, "In your short time here you made the world a brighter place. You are deeply loved like the sun loves the moon and the moon loves the sea. Amidst these personal trials, De Niro's focus on family didn't waver. His dedication to being there for his children and grandchildren has always been evident. And while Drena's loss is something no parent or grandparent should have to endure, De Niro's love and support were constants that helped hold the family together. In recent years, De Niro has found a new chapter of love and family life with Tiffany Chen, a martial arts instructor he met while filming The Intern in 2015. Although their relationship began as a friendship, it blossomed into romance by 2021. Unlike some of his more private past relationships, De Niro has been more open about his connection with Chen. The couple was seen at public events, smiling and comfortable in each other's company. In April 2023, De Niro surprised many when he announced the birth of his seventh child, Gia Virginia Chen De Niro, at the age of 79. This unexpected addition to the family brought renewed joy to De Niro's life. He described how Gia's presence changed his perspective, saying, "Everything that I'm consumed with or worried about or this or that just goes away when I look at her. That in itself is wondrous." He marveled at the way Gia observed the world around her, adding, "She has a very sweet kind of way of looking at you and just taking you in." De Niro's relationship with Tiffany Chen has marked a period of peace and happiness in his later years. He has spoken warmly about his hopes for being around as long as possible to watch Gia grow up and enjoy time with his children and grandchildren. Even as a father to 7 kids from different relationships, De Niro's commitment to them remains firm. He's always been candid about the challenges of parenting, but makes it clear that the love he has for his family is unwavering. Tiffany Chen's influence on De Niro seems to have brought stability and warmth. The two have navigated life's demands together, sharing both the joys and the stresses of raising a new child. Chen, who has an impressive background in martial arts and instruction, has shown she's more than capable of keeping up with De Niro's fast-paced, sometimes unpredictable life. De Niro's life, both on and off the screen, is filled with stories that reveal his complexities. His relationships, marked by love, loss, and resilience, show a man who has lived with intensity not just as an actor but as a father, husband, and partner. From adopting Drena and guiding her through life, to coping with the tragic death of his grandson Leandro, and welcoming baby Gia with Tiffany Chen, De Niro's story is one of enduring love and dedication to those he holds close. This personal journey shows that even one of the most respected actors in Hollywood has had to face heartbreaks and celebrate new beginnings. Through it all, Robert De Niro's story reminds us that family, with all its complexities, is at the center of his world. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, leave a comment, and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next story.